AIDS 302, Summer Session B. It's August 6th. This is take two. Take one, my iPad went flying. I don't know, I had it balancing, and I guess, I'm doing this over again. All right, so where was I? Welcome to Module 5, Video 2. This is it, the last one. Thanks for playing. Thanks for sticking it out. As I typically have been doing, starting with some links on research and such, some things that might resonate with the class as we go through being better consumers of knowledge, right? So this one is on CNN Health. Weed is not good for your heart, studies say. It was posted yesterday. It says you may love smoking weed, but it does not love your heart, according to the American Heart Association's new scientific statement on marijuana. Okay, so it goes through and it talks about certain studies, I believe, in here. Yeah, some of the studies, blah, 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 heart abnormalities. Again, it's taken for what it's worth. I mean, the American Heart Association and the American Diabetes Association, they do have biases, okay? I mean, again, as a type 2 diabetic, I know that if I do the keto diet, my numbers come down, and they have been continue to come down. I finally got to 120 yesterday. It took me a long time, but now I got to get under that. But American Diabetes Association will promote a diet that is rich in carbs, and carbs are starches and sugars, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so we each have to discern the knowledge for ourselves. But this was an interesting article, and I will include that because a handful of students are doing a marijuana legalization and or CBD, which I find obviously is to be different than this, okay, as much as hemp, products are, right? Okay, so let's look at another link. This is straight research from Science Direct again, but it is a paper, Short-Range Airborne Route Dominates Exposure of a Respiratory Infection During Close Contact. It's a standard research paper. There's an abstract, some keywords. Is the research even here? Where is the research? Huh. I thought this was the entire paper, but I guess not. But they talk about a susceptible person experiences the highest exposure risk of respiratory infection when he or she is in close proximity with an infected person. I mean, these things sound like common sense, but they get into the science of it. And this is the things that we should be appreciating. I'll include the link. I don't know if I can get at the whole article, though. Gosh darn it, I thought it was the whole article. My fault. Okay, and finally, I have a link from ASU. One of the daily emails I get talked about ASU engineers offer insight on Tempe Railway Bridge collapse. This happened on July 29th. It was a big train derailment, and it was built in 1912, and after more than a century, recorded its first train derailment and fire. Okay, so it's an interesting article, and I was looking at it because I thought for sure this would be an interdisciplinary kind of article because they have to repair it, replace it, what have you. And, they've got a lot to do with the 108-year-old bridge. So looking at it, I wasn't thrilled because they stuck with engineering, and I think even though they need to address sustainability, need to address those kind of things, especially those two, sustainability and engineering here. And it doesn't specifically state that, but it led me to an article below that one. ASU grad combines passions for activism videography to forge a path toward filmmaking. And it's a very interesting article. Jude Schroeder, Merit Scholar, Barrett College, and they went through this, and there was a quote that they did. By the way, it's they, okay, non-gender, non-binary, talks about it in the article. So let's keep the pronoun at they, them. So they talk about here. when I returned from DC, quote, I chose to pivot and adapt to something new. I was fortunate enough to be able to explore other courses throughout my undergrad, overcoming that uncertainty and just trying out new things through ASU is key for me. Being able to take courses outside of my major helped me figure out what I wanted to do. The interdisciplinary aspect of ASU is what makes us super unique. So again, you are interdisciplinary studies majors, but you have your concentrations. But many other students in other programs identify with an interdisciplinary academic journey. And so Schroeder had a passion for the arts, but then also all of a sudden combined, global studies with videography. All right, and that resonated with me because when I went to grad school at ASU in the West Campus, I was doing a Master of Arts in Interdisciplinary Studies, and the program was it was tough. It wasn't really structured as well as I thought it could be, and I did help before I left the project with the guy in charge, the graduate director, to help with that. But I took a lot of courses in videography, editing, that part. And then I also went and got more into ideology, science and religion, and critical thinking. And this I built upon my undergrad of human rights and African American studies to kind of move along on that path. I thought I was going to end up being like a caseworker, case manager for in the refugee community, resettled refugee community. I didn't know. I had everything on the table, Peace Corps and what have you. So I ended up here, which is great. But anyways, it's a good article, and that's at the bottom of this. So I'm going to include that. And let's get to Easter egg number 1 right away. And let's say it's going to be simple. I'm just going to say discern knowledge. You know how to spell discern, right? Look it up. I'm going to give you 4 points if you spell it wrong. Discern knowledge. Okay, that means to be critical when you deal with knowledge, and it means separate the wheat from the chaff, the good from the bad, at least how you see it, and what you're going by, what your criteria is. Okay. All right. If anybody has missed any points, if you see any points missing, you need to get a hold of me. Okay. Don't just wait. If you don't have any Easter eggs for Module 2, Video 2, it's time to get a hold of me on that. I can't go back and check everything, and I am not perfect. I am human in every sense of the word, and especially this semester. So please let me know if you see me missing any points, okay? Or anything else, all right? It's going to be on you. It's not on me. Don't be reactive, be proactive, all right? Now, in the big picture, your final grade, right? You remember what it's based on. It's based on points, but I'm leaving percentages up there. It helps me to discern better because in this course, it's 1,000 points. Therefore, 87.1% is an 87, which is a high B, right? You got that, right? Okay, similarly, 92, anything over 90%, you can figure it out. You took math. I couldn't figure it out, but you could. All right, so make sure that you keep an eye on that. Granted, there are some people who could really bail out right now and with a half crap paper and still get an A because they've done so well. And some people are still catching up and racing to the finish line. They're coming around the backstretch. So wherever you're at, just be aware. Now, I will give you all a 24-hour window. I'm going to send on, the class ends Tuesday the 11th, right? 11:59 p.m. If the clock strikes midnight, I don't accept it. Everything shuts off. Don't email it to me. I don't want it. You blew it. Don't blow it. So by Tuesday, start uploading earlier than 11:50 or something because you don't know what's going to happen, right? So I will probably finish grades on Wednesday the 12th, Thursday at the latest, probably Wednesday the 12th because I know we probably have to get them in by Friday. I'm going to give you that. I'm going to send an email on them and say, final scores have been posted. Look at your percentage, or I might have it as points. See what you got. If you have an issue with it, you need to get back to me pronto. Okay. I need to hear from you if you have an issue with it, if you want to push back on anything. Um, you got 24 hours. After that, I post it. Okay, grades will post. So grades should post on Thursday. All right. I don't think I think I'll be able to get through everything on Wednesday because I'll probably start going through them on Tuesday and then as they come in. Right. All right, so just be ready for that. It's so important that you adhere to these deadlines because, again, I wouldn't be harping on this if I hadn't have experience about students turning things in late, trying to get something in after midnight for whatever excuse. Okay, it's not going to fly at that point. Class is over. All right, so taking a look at the final paper. So this is it. Now, the final paper includes step 5. So you had step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and now step 5. Okay, step 5 is part of the final paper. There's not like a specific final paper. Step 5, and you put it all together, you submit it as a final paper. You don't submit step 5 separately. You submit it all together. This is where that big, you got your big long paper. You did it, okay? So look at the sample. Extremely important. Look at the sample. Notice how the data was analyzed from the survey. Notice that there were images. Helped so much to show your data in imagery form, helps to understand it, but also to analyze it. Take a look at that. I can't overemphasize it enough. I can see how many of you did that with step 4 and you came through with flying colors. You put your own furniture in that structure and you did well, very, very well, okay? But now I want this paper to be perfect, okay? So if you're using Google Docs and transfer it to Word or something, be careful because you'll get dinged for any mishaps in formatting. All right, and just deal with it, okay? Um, look at the instructions. Look at the fact that, you guys have been doing so well. I haven't had to keep repeating no I, me, my. You've done that so well. Um, so you're going to make it step 1, step 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, now look at the final paper. I have a page on that. I have the sample there. I can't really say much more about it. It's there. Look at it. Do it. Also, make sure you did everybody's survey. Some people turn them in late. Get it going. I'm going to add that to this email, of course, but make sure you did that. I hate having students come up with 7 responses. Okay. Reminds me of the evaluations. The course eval, which I begged, borrowed, pleaded for, we are at 10 out of 51 enrolled. 10. Can I do the math on that? 10 divided by 51 means 19.6% of you did it. There's 80% that haven't. And I know there's not that many that I expect to do it, but I think what it comes down to then it's going to be students that are angry with me are going to submit it, and because it's like anything else, like Yelp, you get I mean whatever, you get a lot of complaints when something bad happens, but when it's good, it's hard to people don't want to report on it. Please do the survey. Please, please, please do your course evaluation. I mean, the course evaluation. Only have 10 people have done it so far. I need to get that up to at least 25. At least don't rely on your neighbor, your peer to do it. Please do it. You don't even have to write anything. You can just check boxes if you want. All right. I'd greatly appreciate it. That's all I'm going to say about the issue. All right. Um, so in essence, to wrap up the course, I guess, by the way, it looks like, 90% of the classes passed the course and will pass. I would say 75% are going to earn an A or B, and probably half the class might probably get an A. So you've really done well. I'm really impressed with it. I would say that, to look back on what you did, besides accomplishing the literal 20-page paper, et cetera, that many of you thought you couldn't do, you stuck with it. And so you saw that by piecing together, by doing a process, you accumulate what you need. And I hope it's a paper that you can be proud of, that you can save, that you can use in many different ways in the future as a guide to other research or as an example of what you've done in academia to help you in your career or further academics journey. I think again, I want you to be discern knowledge better. I want you to look at things and have that critical eye and don't take it for face value until you're Sure. Now, granted, we live in echo chambers. We tend to gravitate towards sources and knowledge that we agree with. And we got to sometimes we got to question, where did that agreement come from? What's the foundation of our agreement with that information? And to be open-minded is going to be the most important aspect on anything. Open-minded, even tolerance, there's it's a continuum. It's not like you have to be all of these things. You can get to a certain point and everybody's going to say, I've had enough. That's not for me, right? I understand. Okay, but we live in a free country, don't we? At least. So, 15 minutes. I think I would like to again let you know that you should get a hold of me. I probably haven't been the most responsive. Sorry. In terms of, I've been getting like 6 hours of sleep when I hiked South Mountain this morning. I think I know some people asked me questions that I wasn't able to answer probably to their liking because for various reasons. But you can, again, ask me questions. I think you guys are a great class. You really did impress the hell out of me. Like I said, you're the fastest class to get the no I, me, my. I've usually been pounding the people up to this point. So please remember to vote this year. Uh, get your vote by mail in early. It's important that you exercise your right in a free democracy and be critical thinking when you hear about things like fraud and stuff. It just doesn't happen. The science doesn't back it up. You've got to go really deep to believe certain things. So be careful of conspiracies. One of your peers sent me a link, New York Times, about the QAnon movement, and it's in a way it's frightening. In some ways, it's to be expected in our world. Just be careful, all right, in how you go about your business and do what you believe in, and be prepared to support it. All right, so that's it. I'm not going to drag this out any farther. Last Easter egg. What else could it be? Forks up. You did it. Peace. Hope to run across you guys down the road at some point. If you see me, let me know. If you're in the area once this pandemic's over, hope when you graduate you get a chance to walk. Come to the convocation if we have them. Hopefully, whenever you graduate, convocation is the best. Commencement's great. That's the big stadium thing where all the students are out there and all the big shots on stage. But convocation is for our College of Integrative Sciences and Arts. It's where I get to sit on the stage with the faculties in our college, and it's in the arena, and we get to see all you guys, and you get to walk across the stage. That's the fun part. I hate it that the fact that a lot of students can't do that anymore this year or whenever, and it bums me out. But don't let that lessen your accomplishment. You did phenomenal, and I'm proud to have been able to hopefully impact your academic journey one way or the other. Hopefully, it's one way and not the other. And take it easy. I'm out.